Junior, Gitano, my sons. How you guys doing, man? JD, how you doing down there repping the Oregon Ducks and that black mamba behind you? How you doing, my guy?
I'm good, but I'm your father. Sorry.
Hey, June, what's going on down there, bro? You growing some plants? I think those are fake because for months they haven't moved at all. I think we got receipts.
Man, look, I'm going through a very delicate, sensitive rooting process for these Monstera elbow plants back here. You don't know nothing about that, man, but I'm ready to get this podcast done. Let's rock it.
Talk about it.
Hey, something we all know about though is these NBA finals. A long time in between games. Everyone's going to get healthy. Porzingis sounds like he's coming back. Luka's going to be at about 85, 90%, which is scary. Initial thoughts, guys. Gitano, do you have a prediction or do you have an analysis or a theme that you want to lean into?
Man, I want to take a look at the 2v2. Tatum, Brown versus Luka, Kyrie.
Okay.
And I want to ask you two, which two would you rather have?
Oh, you know where I'm going, bro. You know where I'm going. I'd rather have Luka by himself than both those dudes. The best player on the planet. Come on now.
I don't know if too many people outside of Boston are going to choose the Celtics duo, which is wild to say because, we've been talking about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum being the next, the next to come, right? The next the next to really do it, step in and be that all-star level, right? So, or superstar level, right? Lead their team to a championship. They haven't done it yet. But I'm taking Luka all day, bro.
I like the Boston combo.
You would, bro.
You know why?
Because you're a front
runner. I like
runner.
Players that play. I like 3-and-D. I got size, and I got shooters, and they both, they attack the rim. And
Quick question. Why do you play the game? You play to win the game. And how do you win? By scoring more points than the other team. Defense, man. I'm taking Luka and Kyrie all day. They're filling seats. You're getting TV ratings. You're getting all these think about what it means from a monetary perspective for the back office too. Like that is that's a polarizing duo. Like, yeah, Tatum and Brown are elite top 5-10 players in the league. Athletic, can shoot, very few flaws in their game, but they're kind of basic. They're kind of like cookie cutter, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
That's
a good way to say it.
For my entertainment value, give me the guy that is going to end the game in the first quarter.
And he did that.
That doesn't happen. That is what stars are supposed to do. And nine times out of 10, you hear people complaining that their star didn't do what they're supposed to do. Not Luka. I mean, shit, he either wanted to end the series because he's mad he didn't sweep or because he wanted to watch that Real Madrid game on Saturday. There's a lot of talk back and forth about that if he just wanted to not have to work on Saturday. But he can do that. He can end a series in the first quarter. So, yeah, man, I take Luka, but that's good. That's good chatter.
He didn't fly to England to watch the game, did he?
I mean, he may have. He may have, but
if he's doing that, he ain't taking Boston serious.
I mean, I can't put it past Luka, okay? You know what I mean?
He got his beer taken away from him from Mike Finley. That was hilarious. If you saw that clip, and
they took a beer, you said?
Yeah, he took his beer from him, and he goes, "We're not done. You got more work to do."
Oh, don't celebrate.
Yeah. Well,
that's funny. That's something
Luka was just sitting there drinking a beer, casually, hey.
Hey, Luka likes his beer, man. He's on record, bro. Okay, so
I mean, you can tell, man. That beer kind of hits his midsection, Not mad at it. June, what's your take heading into this, man? Do you have a hard stance on who's going to win, or do you have a matchup you want to watch? Where are you leaning?
I really think this is going to be a good series. At the end of the day, I think it's going to, obviously go 7. We'd love to see it, but I think it's going to be a competitive series. Now, if you look at who's the favorite based on record and based on how they flew through the playoffs, you would say Boston, but Mavericks are on a heater right now, and we know that when it comes to playoffs, momentum is king. And who's playing the hottest right now, and who's playing with confidence? I don't know that anybody's playing more confidence than the Dallas Mavericks right now.
But let me count. This is not something that This is not me disagreeing with your take because it's my take. But do you still have momentum after a week? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you're binging a show and you're on a heater, or are you gonna wait for the next episode? Like all the stuff that happens in your life between then. I don't know.
Hey, it's a good point, and there's always that. I mean, it's the age old question, like especially with the NFL, right? When the playoff seedings, said in the last week of the season, it's like, do you rest your starters? Do you play your starters? And I think we kind of see. I mean, the trend in the NFL is rest your starters, right? So clearly, most coaches in the NFL feel like it's okay to take a week off and still come in with that momentum. So I mean, yeah, that's tough though. That's tough though, Chris. I hope not, right? I mean, we hope not. We hope Dallas comes out firing, bro. Okay, so like from a fan, like I want to see him. I want to see him stay hot.
Well, and it's just having seen a little bit of just traveling with the Blazers for a while. There's things that happen that a team will do that have like deep rooted psychology behind them to fire up the team or get them motivated or keep them in their incubator. Their that rhythm that they've had. Whether that's sleeping on different, time zones and to try to keep your body on that circadian rhythm, or, doing, shoot arounds at different times within the travel period. It's different. There's a lot that goes into it. And, I mean, fuck, the Mavericks have Mark Cuban, so I'm sure they have some of the most cutting edge philosophies out there. I'll just say. Are
they out there in hyperbaric chambers, bro? Like, no doubt.
Oh, at the very least. At the very least. Yeah. I mean, right. My take here, everyone's gonna be talking about the 2v2, those two stars on both teams. But before my point, my take, what I'm watching, what I think is the series is gonna hinge on. I saw a tweet the other day. It was hilarious. All this praise Kyrie's getting, and everyone's like, Kyrie's, this and that, and like, can't believe you counted this dude out. He's matured, all this stuff. And someone commented and said, you guys are acting like this dude beat cancer. He was just an asshole for 5 years. And now he's not, that's an astute take. But what I'm going to watch is the big man matchup. Is Porzingis coming back? And if he does, how does that affect the series? Because Lively, talk about being on a heater, Lively did not miss a field goal the entire Western Conference Finals, which hasn't been done before.
Is he going to be good to go, though?
All that rest, yes. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
And then Gafford, like, in that last game, Gafford was feeling himself. And so those dudes are still riding that. I don't know if Porzingis coming back changes the game plan for both teams, if that allows the two bigs from Dallas to play more, which would give Dallas the advantage, in my opinion. Like, it's, you have to go small, which means you don't play both those big guys. Or if their big comes back, then you do play both. To me, that's something to watch. And I also think it's pretty interesting that if Porzingis is healthy, the two starting centers in the finals were teammates on the Wizards last year.
Bro, hey, did you see? I think it was like this dude named like Esquire Sports posted a breakdown, and like the last like 5 NBA champions have had a player from the recently on the Wizards, either like the season before, that season that got traded. Like the Wizards are producing
I didn't see that.
Championship players right now, bro.
They're just grooming them, bro. They're grooming them. Hey, shout out the Wizards, man. I did not see that.
That's funny. I just read that tweet like before we hopped on.
That's wild, man. Stay relevant. Did the Celtics have an easy road to get to the finals? Yes. I think that is a hypothetical that is easily answered in itself. But I think that if Dallas didn't have a difficult time getting to the finals, then they wouldn't be as prepared. It's you're stacking bricks and you're building that confidence, and it's snowballing to its crescendo at the NBA Finals. If those were all cakewalks, you could have little side things happening that's distracting. But if you're tested every single night, shit. I think that Dallas is battle tested. I don't think the Celtics are battle tested at this point. JD, I think you put that note in. What's your take?
Yeah, the reason why I wanted to ask that, because you look at Denver getting knocked out by Minnesota, in Game 7 at home, defending champions. And if they would have won that game, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be talking about Dallas, and we would be talking about Denver versus Boston. And let's see if Boston can, steamroll them just like they steamrolled all these other teams. They're on a 7-game winning streak right now. They're really, they're playing really good basketball. Joe Mazzulla is coaching his ass off, and the team is responding, and they're playing well. It's the others. Derek White, I don't know why San Antonio got rid of him. Peyton Pritchard coming in, looking, solid minutes. Al Horford, the ageless vet, is playing great, hitting shots when he's supposed to. And you sprinkle in a little bit of the unicorn. We'll see if they can win their 17th championship and tie my Los Angeles Lakers.
I mean,
you said all that just to talk about the Lakers.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
you said if Denver would have won, if the Lakers would be in the finals, we'd be talking about, is LeBron still have it? Like, yeah, of course. But, this is the cards that were dealt. So we're talking about this series, you know what I'm saying? But I think you said all of that just to talk about the Lakers.
I mean, yeah, that's what JD going to do, though. JD going to come on here and he's going to talk about the Lakers. I mean, this is not, that's fine. That's what he is, okay? We accept that, all right? But no, I just want to say something, though. What I'm worried about with the Celtics is that big man matchup, like you said, Chris. I just want to highlight that a little bit. I mean, look, they got Al Horford. I understand, the ageless wonder, but they got a 6'8" dude who don't really play much defense starting at center with no real solid backup at all. It could be lost.
Who's been starting? Who's been their starting
Horford's
five?
Been starting at center, man.
Is Cornette back though?
Well, yeah, you're right, because Cornette's in there, but still, I guess
because he was hurt though. Cornette was hurt.
Yeah, I guess he's tall, but he's not that skilled. He's all right. Hustle guy.
He's like Cody Zeller 2.0.
Yeah, hustle guy, but I really worried that they can stop the inside attack, and not we're not talking about post ups, right? but that lob is so dangerous. It's so dangerous too. And then defensively, Gafford, he was playing strong inside, and they got Maxi Kleber back. I know he's not a big, but he stretches the court. He gets rebounds. He plays tough defense. So Dallas, I think, has the advantage. I mean, if you look at it, for me. They've got the advantage in the front court and the back court. And not defensively, obviously. I know Luka and Kyrie are somewhat liabilities, though Kyrie's been, you want to talk about effort in these playoffs, he's been putting it out. So you can't hate on his effort in these playoffs. Even Luka, too, he's at least got some effort to him. He's never going to be a good defender. But backcourt, front court comparison, it probably goes to the Mavericks right now. That's wild to say.
It is wild to say, man. And you made a good point on those lobs. I just imagine having the unicorn in there, just a fly swatter, even just the threat of a fly swatter. Without that, your next biggest threat of intercepting or getting a hand on those lobs is what, Tatum?
I mean, solid team defense, but, Luka and Kyrie are too good at breaking that down.
Who's guarding Luka? Is Derek White's going to guard Luka then, and Drew's going to guard Kyrie? How do you guys think they're going to match that up? JD, what do you think?
It's going to be pick and roll, and it doesn't really matter because they're going to seek out the matchup they want. And so we'll find out game 1.
That's what I'm saying. Who do you think's more favorable? Who would if you were the Celtics?
I don't know.
How would you do that?
I don't know because Luka still gets buckets on anybody.
That's what I'm saying. So what's the lesser, knowing that that's going to happen, then who do you put on Kyrie? Do you put Drew on Kyrie? But Derek White's a great defender in his own right. You know what I'm saying? Or do you put Jaylen Brown on there's a lot to play with. You put Derek White on Derek Jones.
Yeah, I think you got to put Brown on Luka, and you got to let Drew try and guard Kyrie, and then you got to let D White play because what Derek White is good. He's a really good help defender.
And he's lengthy, dude.
Yeah, and he draws charges and he rebounds. So it's really good to have him kind of off the ball a little bit like that too. So I think that's how they're going to play it.
Yeah, him guarding Derek Jones.
Yeah, I don't think D White can guard Luka though. I mean, he can play tough defense on him, but at the end of the day, I mean, Luka's probably going to get his shots against Derek White. Jaylen Brown's going to be a much tougher matchup, and he's been motivated from the defensive end. I talked about Kyrie, but Jaylen Brown these playoffs. I mean, this guy looks like the all first team all defense, man. It's wild.
Hey, can we talk about Derrick Jones Jr. though, real quick? Like sneakily a starting integral part of the Mavericks, and has been let go by how many teams who thought he was just a dunker, including
Blazers,
my Portland
Miami.
Blazers. Yeah.
I mean, all he does is show up to work and do the things that he does very well. Like, don't ask him to break somebody off the dribble, but ask him to catch a lob, get some rebounds, and play tough defense and hit the occasional three. Like, we're not even asking you to hit the consistent three. Hit the occasional three.
He's so long and he's the Slim Reaper Jr., right? Like the small version of this. He's skinny and long, but he's so freakishly athletic. Watch this, okay? Every single time he closes out on a jump shooter, he either gets a piece of it or affects it much more than anyone else would, because think about it, he's a dunker. And if he's jumping out trying to block a shot with that same momentum and emphasis, he comes out of nowhere and people don't expect it. It's dope to see. And it's cool. I like to see guys that have been kind of looked over journeymen for a long time, and then they have a big role on a team going to the chip.
I mean, he's a 6'6" dude averaging a block a game. I mean, that's something in the NBA, bro. Like,
yeah. He's only 6'6".
Yeah.
Derek White can guard it. What, Derek White 6'4"?
He's 6'4", 6'5".
Reluctant 6'4".
Yeah, so he's closer to 6'5", I think.
Okay. One other thing, like on the Western Conference Finals, I think it's the consensus across America, probably even in Minnesota, that there was a conspiracy that Adam Silver sat down with somebody and was told he could not give the Rookie of the Year or the Defensive Player of the Year trophy to a rookie, because Wemby is clearly the best defensive player, and Gobert did not do anything to prove that he deserved that trophy. He was it was laughable. Like, Luka was laughing at him. People were laughing when they tried to guard him on the perimeter. Is there a conspiracy? Not everyone knows that Wemby got robbed. I want to know, was there a conspiracy?
I mean, I shout out to Christy. She loves a good conspiracy. I mean, Ancient Aliens, all that.
Let's do one, man.
She's down for it. I'll tell you what, it seems quite odd. I mean, you got writers publicly coming out saying they wish they wouldn't have voted for Gobert. Like, that's pretty wild. Like, you don't generally see that.
Perkins has been on one. Kendrick Perkins has been on one about that. I love it.
And here's the thing, like, Gobert didn't play, like, he isn't the reason they lost that series. Like, he could have played better, but he wasn't just absolutely trash can. I think the series before, he was probably worse, right? But I think Wemby should have got that. I mean, it's kind of like I was saying last pod with Cameron Brink. She's the best defensive player in the WNBA as a rookie. Like, I've seen enough, right? Let's honestly.
You're wrong.
Okay.
And let's table that.
Okay.
For the W conversation. I see you trying to segue, bro, but
I'm not. I was just connecting dots. Okay, I'm just saying, Wemby got robbed. We all know that. Is it a conspiracy? It sure as hell seems like it right now.
Or is it just like one of those unwritten things, like in sports where, the old, the boosters don't like it that way type of thing. Like, you just don't give it to a rookie, and it's,
I mean, or they could have just, the thing is, he was the first rookie to make a first team all defensive NBA, right?
Maybe that was like, here's your, here's your prize, kid.
So, that is a huge deal in itself, right? And so that's a big change from what we've seen in the history of the NBA. So, but at the same time,
it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, if you're gonna give him that, might as well give him the defensive player of the year, right?
Bro, people barely remember who won it, not who was on the backup team, the honorable mention.
Yeah, but I mean, he was first team all NBA defense. I mean, that's pretty special.
It's dope if you follow the team, but to the average fan, people don't remember that, and it is not something to be satisfied with.
How good is Wemby gonna be next year, bro? And the next year, y'all. I am so damn hyped as a Spurs fan. Like,
who are you gonna draft? Who are you drafting?
I hope Castle out of UConn, but I'll take.
Is that the big white boy?
No. He's their point guard. Who's the big white?
Who's the big white dude?
Klingham.
Yeah, that's who I heard the Blazers were looking at him.
I don't.
I'd rather
think
have
he,
Edie.
Yeah,
I'd rather have Edie.
fits.
I'm on record. I don't care what year it is. Give me Edie 10 times out of 10 over any other big.
Edie will have a productive career. I don't think he's going to be all-star type. I think Edie's going to play. He's going to have a similar like arc as like Roy Hibbert, right? Where like he might get hot for a few years, but he'll play in the league if he stays healthy. I think that's true.
And I think the way that the big mans are these days, like look at DeAndre Ayton, he's going to miss 20% of the games with injuries, whether they're real or not. So those are 20 starts for him plus the backup minutes. I want him there. That was supposed to be Robert Williams this year, but he faked an injury. I'm just joking. He didn't fake no injury. But that would have been dope, though. Robert Williams was so nice.
He was. He can't stay healthy, but I appreciate you indulging me in a quick Wemby wiggle. So thank you, Chris.
Hey, wiggle him. JD, any thoughts, my guy? You're quiet over there.
Yeah, Wemby, he got robbed, and that's just. It's facts, and it sucks that, like you said, the conspiracy theories on freshmen winning Heisman trophies.
Thank you.
There's just these sports conspiracies that defensive players can't win the Heisman Trophy. The NFL award, can't go to a non-quarterback. There's a lot of them, and Wemby felt the wrath of that this year, but he won't next year.
You know what, JD, though? You listed off just so many right now examples, and I just want to say, man, that's all whack as hell, man. Like, why can't it? Like, I'm gonna go on record right now and say, like, if there's so many unwritten rules about these awards, change the damn awards. Like,
yeah, they add awards every year to sound more liberal.
We had a whole NBA segment about it, okay? Like, I'm just saying, like, change the awards because they're starting to lose something when the Heisman Trophy can only go to a quarterback or maybe like a running back or a receiver, but like maybe, right?
I got a question. Why can't we do like negative awards, like the worst draft pick of the year?
We can.
Scoot Henderson.
Right here on this pod, bro. Let's do it. Let's give out awards next year.
The reverse NBA awards. Worst draft pick. My vote goes for Scoot Henderson, and I'm stealing both of your votes at gunpoint so I can have 3 votes to say Scoot Henderson, worst draft pick of the year. Yeah, hey, JD, do that. Applause. Yay!
I haven't been able to do it yet. We're going to update that.
Okay, let's say biggest disappointment of the year in the NBA.
I mean, can I say the Spurs?
You may.
Like Wemby obviously
go. Yeah.
Wemby obviously exceeded expectations, but the Spurs as a team, like come on, man. We thought we'd be like sniffing the play-in or something at the beginning of the game. I mean, they set franchise records for like losing streak, like, or I guess they were 1 game away. Either way, like, man, no. I don't think many people expected that. No one expected them to be good, but no one expected them to be that damn bad. Like, that was the biggest disappointment to me. And as a fan, it hurt a little bit.
JD.
I'm going to have to go Phoenix Suns.
Oh. Yeah, I buy that.
Adding a
that Bill thing didn't work
older
out.
Player does not solve you or put you into position to win in the NBA championship. So, you
and
can't
then
just
a player that makes that much money, too.
Hey, I'm gonna say the Milwaukee Bucks for messing with my dude's future, his career. We'll be back though. Giannis faked an injury. They fired Stotts the first week of the season, the first week of training camp, over Adrian Griffin's young like he hadn't been a coach before. He was like first time coach or was interim or something. Like he didn't have a lot of experience coaching, and I think, and I want to find out if he felt threatened by Stotts' influence on Dame and took one thing out of context and said that, and I don't think I think Stotts said, I'm not dealing with this bullshit and left. But the Bucks, dude, like the Bucks, they're supposed to go to the chip. They're supposed to at least win the East or challenge. They didn't even play the Celtics.
But when we did the NBA preview, I mean, I'll go back to what I said. I mean, we got receipts, but I said that like that the fact that they did just put all those pieces together, was the reason why they probably weren't going to succeed. Though I did say Dame was going to be an MVP candidate or maybe even win MVP, so that was way off by me.
We don't have to pull that one up. We don't have to pull that. I do remember you saying that though, and I was like, no, they're gonna be great. They're just milking them. Hey, bro, blind hyperbole. JD, what are your thoughts? What other disappointments this year should we point out?
I mean, you can look at the Lakers and say, finishing as a number 7 seed is, you can put that in not what you want. But, I mean, you play Denver and it's just a bad matchup. The NBA is all about matchups, like Minnesota was built to beat Denver.
Yep.
And the Lakers can't beat Denver, but we would have mopped OKC. We would have mopped all these young teams. I'm sure we would have mopped them.
Minnesota.
So I would say the Lakers are, they're right there. And same with Steph Curry and the Warriors. When you have the legends on your team, the top 75 players, your expectation is championship. And that's just what it is.
So speaking of the Lakers, Bronny is officially going to be an NBA player next year. He's not coming back. Staying in the draft. There's a lot of rumors out there LeBron's going to go wherever his son goes, and there's, maybe that's not true. That's just leverage for Maverick Carter to get a better deal for Bronny. What's going to happen? Let's call our shots. I think I'll go first. I think Bronny is going to slip to the second round. No, the Kings are going to draft him wherever, just so they can with the Lakers and try to get an asset back for him. That's my pick. That Vivek Ranadi, whatever his name is, their owner. Watch. They're going to pick Bronny. I'm going to look. That's my shot. All right. I'm calling it. Kings are going to pick Bronny just to use it, to dangle it to get something back. They'll ask for AD.
JD, you got a Bronny take?
Man, I haven't really gave it too much thought. I think he'll be a first round pick just because somebody wants those eyeballs. But is he worth it? No, he averaged 2 points coming off the bench on a team that won 6-7 games in the Pac-10 or Pac-12.
But he had a really good pro day.
I mean, I guess, that's just,
Some games some games translate. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I hope his game translates to the NBA but he's only 6'1", which is actually shorter than I thought. But he has a 42-inch vert, but I thought he was taller than 6'1".
He's going to have to play the one, right?
I believe so, and I don't know if his handle, but you can get better handles if that is what your job is. And the one thing I will say about Bronny is we don't know what he sounds like, and I think that he doesn't want to be in his dad's shadow. I don't think any young man wants to be in that shadow of a legend, a GOAT, a Mount Rushmore. So I think he's like, he wants to get his wings clipped or let his wings fly and get out the nest and do his own thing because he's his own man. And LeBron has said that, and he's raised a good young man to stand on business. And if your dad is the CEO of the Clutch Sports, there's going to be a little bit of nepotism, and that's why your dad worked so hard to do what he's doing.
Trying to set his family up for success.
I'll just clarify. He measured at 6'1.5", y'all, without shoes. So, closer to 6'2".
So he's 6'2" with shoes. Yeah, he's Brad Beal.
6'2", explosive athlete. Not super long, but he's not boxy either. But he doesn't have those prototypical really long strong defense those are DeJounte Murray arms, right? He ain't got those. But he does have hustle. He does have some court awareness. He plays solid defense. And is that enough in the NBA with your dad being LeBron? I mean, probably to get a chance, right? He's not going to get 4 chances, but he's going to get 2 chances, right? So, I think that's how it's going to play out. And shit, I hope the Spurs draft him in the second round, right? Just to see what that'd be like. Maybe LeBron comes and plays with Wemby for a season or two. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with that.
I'll say this: if the NBA gave the Ball brother a second or third look, though, I think LeBron is gonna get a 5th look, though. June,
right?
Come on.
They get Master P a 10-day.
Are you talking about like Leangelo? Like, I mean, he's been on some summer league teams. I'm not counting that,
but
man.
you said he's not going to get a fourth look, but that's
favor.
a look.
The summer league teams are favors.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, if you count that as a look, okay, but I'm talking about legit.
Okay,
like,
what is a look
legitimate.
then? What is an actual look then?
You're on a training camp roster with a chance to get in the rotation.
What he was on a training camp. He played in the preseason. Look it up.
I think like once or twice, man, but he didn't get 4.
Okay, but that's a look.
Yeah.
That's a paycheck.
Just like Michael, what's his name, Mr. Cooper on Hanging with the Coopers. Remember how that? You guys ever watched that back in the day?
Yeah, man.
He's like, I had my 10-day with the Warriors, and he always had his jersey.
That was fire. I always thought that was fresh.
That's a look to them. It's a look to them.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean,
Chris, if I only had a not even a cup, if I just had a splash of coffee, your boy had his jersey, right? Did I get a look?
You got to look if you got a jersey.
Have y'all ever looked that up? They did the ESPN did it on the guy from Oklahoma State who had the shortest NBA career, and it was 2 seconds.
Oh my gosh, what?
I can't remember his name. He was a point guard from Oklahoma State, about our age, and
not Gottlieb. Gottlieb.
No, he's black, and I'll look it up.
Gottlieb's black,
and he played in like 10 seconds. That was the only NBA time he ever got.
Oh, but he was on a regular season roster and played in a game.
But that was all he ever played was 10 seconds.
He's an alumni.
So that's a look.
I mean, that's not getting
hard. No, that's a make. He made it.
He's not getting that pension though, so
that's true. But hey, everyone in the neighborhood, he was in the NBA, former NBA player.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, speaking of neighborhoods, let's branch out across the globe. They used to do this in the Rising Stars game, where they've tinkered with things all the time, but it was at one point all of the international players against all of the American-born players in their first 2 years of the league. If they expanded that right now to all the All-Stars, who's winning, the world or the U.S.?
I found that stat, and it was James on Curry paid 3.9 seconds.
Bro, he led the nation in scoring at Oklahoma State, if I'm not mistaken.
I remember that name.
3.9 seconds, shortest career ever, bro. Gotta look.
Had to be him though.
All right, well, Chris, I'm gonna take your question first, man. Like,
all right, bet.
As much as I wish I could say the USA team, it might not be them, man.
Well, they got Luka, SGA, Jokic, Wemby, Giannis, Embiid. Like, can we get Kobe and MJ?
I mean, they got offense and defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got. Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. I mean,
so what? Curry, Ant-Man, KD, LeBron, AD, Kawhi.
Hey.
Come on, man. Can you imagine the 1-2 with LeBron and Curry though?
You're right though, JD. That alone is pretty.
Just LeBron and Curry, bro. Like,
it's
come
pretty
on.
scary. It's pretty scary. Yeah. I mean, look. Okay. I'm willing to waver a little bit. If they played 100 times.
And you got Ant-Man, and you got a little bit of youth. You know what I'm saying? You got a little bit of youth with Ant-Man, though, just to make sure.
I think you're forgetting 2 American-born players that were taken 1 and 2 in the draft. One of them played his ass off in the play-in tournament, got hurt. The other one hasn't played in a minute.
Cool.
Zion and Ja.
I mean, yeah, but I'm putting old heads. I'm just saying you're
talking old heads though. But everyone on that world team, Luka, SGA, Jokic, Wemby, Giannis, Embiid, they're all not old heads.
I don't want Zion.
I'm saying if you're looking at career arcs, if we're looking at career, okay.
I'm just talking about right now. We're doing.
If we're playing this game right now,
yes,
we're going to the park and we're playing.
We're going to
right
the blacktop like on 2K.
Okay, then yeah, I'll take Bron, KD. I might even take Westbrook.
Okay, but if they play 100 times,
Kyrie,
how many of the
Dame.
U.S. winning?
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, they win in a good 60. It's a 60-40.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean, Jokic and Giannis, that one too. Come on.
Yeah,
and then you got Embiid. That's the only thing that the U.S. doesn't have. You have 3 of the best bigs. You have the 4 best bigs in the world are all world players. Like, let's look at that.
You're not even counting in Luka, who we've said is the best player on the planet, And then SGA, who was a finalist for the MVP.
Hey,
Like,
but
You
Embiid
just can't dismiss
should be on
LeBron and
the US.
Curry. You can't
Embiid should be
dismiss the
US
Kang.
though.
That's two, though. That's two. And if it takes two of them to equal, even if we're playing by that, if it takes two international players to equal a LeBron or a Curry, they still have us beat.
So you're going with the world team.
I'm not going with them. Come on, man. Back-to-back World champs. I'm going with America, bro. Mark. But we ain't going, I'm going to go down swinging just like I do with my Blazers and all of my hot takes. Like, we ain't going to win.
I mean, I
I'm
can
gonna
see a
talk like-
50-50 game split if they played 100 times, man. I really could.
It's just like I look at this and I see the four best big men in the world are all world players.
And the best player on the planet.
I'm not calling Luka the best player.
But wait,
Who are you calling the best player?
Why are
LeBron?
we giving Embiid to the world though? He's playing on the U.S. Olympic team.
That's
Because
true.
he is because when you look at his thing on he's from Cameroon.
Yeah, but if he's
Yeah,
a
but
U.S. citizen,
he's
like,
playing on our
Okay,
team.
he just became a U.S. citizen.
But you're saying right now.
I mean, if we're
right
talking,
now,
if
I'm
he's
just
playing
saying
for the
that.
US
Who did he
Where
choose?
was he born at? How about that?
Who did
That's
he
why I
choose?
did that.
No,
I
okay,
see
so
where the guy
born.
was born at. And,
Okay,
and you
we're
know the
going
sad
born.
part is Canada is part of North America, bro. Let's just keep it a buck. So like he's born, SGA, all those
Jamal
Canadian
Murray.
players. Like, are they really on the world team? Like, come on,
yes,
that's
they
North
are
America.
because they're in Canada. But like, I digress. You know, what I'm saying?
It's just one border. Let's just not.
It's not that far away,
Bro,
guys.
we got some Canadian listeners on here going, do not lump us in with America, y'all. Hell
Nah,
no.
bro. Yeah, keep your Drake
Nah,
and your
they got that
Bieber.
better, healthcare, all that.
Hey, actually, I was talking to somebody on my flight the other day from Canada, and he was saying it's not all the hype. Us Americans think it's. We should get a Canadian on the show. Just an average Joe.
Hey, bro.
Let's find our pen pal, our sister station in Canada, and be like, hey, what's it like up there? And just ask them.
I'm just saying, there's pros and cons to everything, bro. Okay, nothing's perfect. All right, so
The grass always seems greener.
yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we got that out of our system. Now, can we talk about what really matters? And that is how disrespectful Nike basketball is to women. Like, you guys saw that. They tweeted right after the end of the Western Conference Finals, like, oh, shucks, there's some, oh, shucks, no basketball for a week. And if you scroll on their timeline, their last tweet was about Sabrina Twos and, like, WNBA, and it's like, how they deleted it, obviously, but, like, the fact that they have these kids running their Twitter account at this agency they hired, my philosophy of just being in the biz is like, let the kids run Snapchat and TikTok, but let the adults handle Twitter and X, whatever, and in the meta platforms. Like, that's where the grown-ups have conversations. And if your go-to is to post something right away that is funny, but you're completely missing, like, you're not reading the room, maybe it's not meant for you.
I don't know, bro, Chris. I'm going to go the other way, man. I'm saying that might be the mark of like a millennial or like a Gen Xer running the Twitter account. To be honest, bro, like I feel like the younger generation would be more in tune with it.
Well, I don't have a great sample set with WNBA.
No, I'm saying like they're not in tune with shit. They don't understand nothing.
Yeah, they want to
common sense. It's not common with these youngsters. Okay, they don't know how to open doors. They got the pants all halfway down their ass. I encountered something today. No.
I'm going to blow your mind right now, JD. There's no such thing as common sense.
That's what I said.
No.
Yeah, common sense is not common.
Common sense doesn't exist. Common sense to everyone is relative, bro. Like if I told Chris to get in front of this table saw and be like, oh, all the safety issues, of a table saw, like, because it's common sense. He might go,
no.
Common courtesy.
You're talking about
common courtesy exist.
Yeah.
Common
okay.
courtesy.
Now we're talking about something that's a skill set. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
a skill
Junior.
set. Not a common human decency.
All right. Not everybody knows how to, plug in a microphone and get shit rolling.
But they know how to make somebody feel appreciated. Like, people know the right and, you know what I'm saying? They know right and wrong. Biggest example, this happens every day to me, and I hate it, but I love to hate it. It's just like, there's so many assholes. So You know, when there's a crosswalk or something, or maybe not a crosswalk, but someone's trying to cross the street, parking lot at the grocery store, right? You slow down, you let them go. Like, oh, don't worry, I'll stop traffic for you.
Yeah.
And they don't even pretend to walk faster. Like, even just like move your arms, like, oh, thanks. Like do the mime it a little bit. But if it's just like still on your slow roll, that's the type of people in this world that I think are on TikTok all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those people, they have no common decency. They just want to be the star. They think they're on the Truman Show and they're Jim Carrey and everyone cares about them as much as they care about them. That's my rant.
You know what's funny,
society.
Chris, is because when you're talking about that part, I'm not sure if you guys saw this in the Dallas Mavericks end of the game. They said, oh, Dallas is making its 4th NBA finals appearance. And I'm like, that's an edit that they did wrong because they've been to 3. And I'm like, who's in charge of that? Because that's a no-no.
Wait, they've been to this will be their 3rd?
Yeah, but they put on TV that this is their 4th.
It was either in the game notes, and the game notes were wrong, which can't be because if those came from the Mavericks, they wouldn't mess that up. Or it was just like bad inputter on the the telestrator.
Yeah, and like one time, Chris, when you gave me a media guide, and I went through it, and I was like, oh, the Blazers got this wrong. Like there was a print wrong. I read media guides, Junior, and I was reading it, and I pointed it out to Chris. I was like, hey, this is wrong. This is not the right information on here.
What did I say?
And that just goes back to people just not knowing, reading the room.
Was that common sense though?
Well, it would be, there's no basketball.
I would say it's required
I think
for
that
the job.
It's almost over our head because you're not necessarily talking about, like, you're just talking about the men.
No, but they said no basketball for a week.
I get it, but again, we're still not WNBA. What?
Dog, but of all the years, I get it. Last year, the year before, the last 20, 25, 24 years, it would make sense. This year is different. NIL changed things. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark gave us the on-deck circle last year. This year, I'm just saying, dog, like it is, you have to be under a rock or absolutely bigoted.
We talk about WNBA here, but I'm still, I ain't tuned in yet.
I mean, it doesn't matter though. If you work for a company, if you get paid to provide sports information, and you are not aware that it's just come on, man. That's
but you save yourself with one word. If they would have said no playoff basketball for a week, like it's not even like
it was an oversight.
You know
what? An oversight. They up.
I think that's what they forgot to put in, Junior, is that
they
word.
Didn't forget
no
nothing.
Playoff basketball.
Yeah, they didn't
forget nothing.
That's the point,
they just didn't get it approved by the right people. No one approved. Like they give people too much runway, and it's like sometimes just have another set of eyes.
Well, that person hung himself, Chris.
Well, I'm just saying, like, okay, it's like I used to work in cybersecurity. Okay, information privacy. We used to say like it's not a matter of if you'll have a security breach. It's just when. It's when, right? Like everyone is going to have a security breach at this point in the in the technology
in the world.
Yeah,
don't even get me started. Like T-Mobile's so afraid of breaches. Like, granted, we
they had 2 large ones back to back.
A couple.
Yeah, they had a couple, bro. Like,
I can't even use my computer for shit.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it, bro. Like, I mean, they were one of the bigger
Google
companies.
Drive, Dropbox, nothing. But I get it.
The part for me is like, can you really? I just don't know if our defense, like the cyber defense that the world has, like, or I should say USA, right, is strong enough to fight all those bots and all those people from the other parts of the country. Because I watch 60 Minutes and those dudes ain't playing. They out here shutting down this world. Water system, cell phones.
Well, it's because humans.
There's nothing stopping them.
Yes,
we can't stop it.
It's humans, because humans are the weakest link in cybersecurity always. 90% of large data breaches we see in the news is because a human was tricked by some sort of scam. Like phishing. You can't make something out of nothing. They have to have a way in, and almost
every rule exists for a reason.
Almost every time it's a damn human that anyway. So what I'm saying, my whole point with that is oh man, I think I lost my whole point with that. Actually,
You're talking cybersecurity, man.
Yeah.
I was tuned in.
For the social media though, if you tweet enough, you're gonna have a bad tweet that has to get deleted, and you're gonna get drugged for it. Like, I'm sorry, like,
No, but that's different though, dog. When you are paid. No,
I know, Chris, but I'm just saying it's happened to
it's happened a lot.
Corporation,
but trust me, yes, and every single one has been a case study. Like, everything is scrutinized so much, it's taken all the fun out of it. I've been in social media for what year is it? 24, 10 years.
Yeah.
But then like 3 before I went into PR on MySpace. Like,
but it still happens every day, Chris. Is what I'm saying.
But the fact that goes out from
there's zero room for error is what he's saying.
There's zero room for error to take a risk like that, to try to be like, they were on Twitter too much is what the thing is. And they got caught in the vacuum of what the timeline was saying, how everyone was feeling. And it was obviously a man tweeting it.
We can't have you dropping the ball like the code red in Hawaii with the missiles. We can't have that.
All that shit. They're supposed to get all of those approved in advance, which is corny as
the reality is, it happens, even with everything you're saying. So, like, if you're doing social media and you do it long enough, you're gonna have a tweet that you regret putting out. That is facts.
You may regret one, but the wrong wording. Like, no.
Yeah, no, but just to not have
foresight,
or just to have blinders on, to like. Literally on their timeline, if you scroll back a little bit, it's all about women's hoops, because there's this empowerment movement going on, and they're trying to capitalize it because there's monetary opportunity for them to make money off of the WNBA with Caitlin Clark, and their little agency person messed that up. I'm sorry, like,
because
there is
they subcontract that, right, Chris?
Hell yeah!
I'm not disagreeing that they
ain't a black badge member.
Nah, man, they contractors.
I'm just saying, like, it's going to happen to almost everyone. Like, I mean, it is.
And you're right,
yes,
Junior.
It will.
There's going to be a bad tweet,
and they all get talked about it.
But there's zero room for error when you're working in that space.
Yeah, I just think it is. And didn't Caitlin Clark just sign a huge deal with them? Like, come on, man. Like, are you not in meetings? Do you not know what's going on? Do you not have the pulse of the company at this point?
I mean, I feel like Chris just wants to drag Nike for a minute, man. I'm gonna let you do it, bro.
I'm just trying to win this argument with you. Like, don't give a fuck. But furthermore, so I was going on trying to link some Outlook calendars, right, from Gmail and whatnot, and you play around, and on Outlook, powered by Microsoft Bing, it says, would you like to add these sports teams near you? They included the Seattle Mariners, the Seattle Seahawks, the Seattle soccer team, Sounders, Portland Timbers, Portland Blazers, Ducks, Huskies, everything, Vancouver Whitecaps. But they didn't have the Seattle Storm as a team near you. It's like all of these teams in the Pacific Northwest, but not the Storm. And then I clicked out of it and I saw, like, add a sports calendar, and they had categories, and it said expand all sports. I clicked all sports, powered by Microsoft. WNBA was not a sport. I'm just saying, it is not a Me Too movement at all, but it's like, dog, like, in sports and basketball and the WNBA, just pay attention what's going on. You're going to miss it, and you're going to look like an idiot for not paying attention. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but Chris, I have to look. I don't want to like.
It's a million clicks in there. It is there if you go a million clicks in.
I don't want to defend Microsoft.
No, you're right. It's a million clicks in though, but on the surface, like from a PR perspective,
it should be on the second tab.
All sports,
right there.
It should be an all sport category, and they're in season. None of those other teams are in season.
Yep.
It was just like, come on, guys, like, look QA.
Yeah,
no QA.
And I told you this pre-show, but I use Outlook to track my Spurs games, and like in the middle of the season, they just stopped tracking them for 3 months. They just all fell off my calendar.
So I'm saying, making Microsoft, their 500 plug-in for their teams.
Get it together, Microsoft.
Like, do the basic shit right.
Yeah.
I get all my alerts with Apple, Junior.
Man,
Apple's tight, but you know what though? When you click close game, whatever, it doesn't open up YouTube TV. It goes to their thing, and it's like, hey, you gotta pay to get. I hate the pissing wars between Netflix and Apple and how. Oh, I don't want to get into that. That's
Google
another
and
conversation.
Apple, Microsoft and Apple. Yeah, and
I think
all
we
of
should
it.
have a
Include everybody.
non-sports day where we only talk about movies and tech stuff that all bug us and get on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
And let's go at each other because we know it's
Hey.
2-on-1 on this show.
Hey, whatever, man.
What, the two black dudes against me?
Hey, we can put however you want, Chris. It's 2 black dudes,
It
2
is
Apple
always-
guys.
It is always
Lot.
going to be 2-on-1. Yeah, that is
Whatever.
true. Yeah, 2 guys who went to Clack and one didn't, you know,
Yeah,
or 2
I
guys
mean,
went to
we
Woo.
can work this around many ways.
Yeah, I'll bet. And that's why 3 is the best, because it's a banter. You know, with 2 it's just like, eh.
Yeah.
Anywho, did you guys see Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese play yesterday?
I only caught the highlights because the man, it's too early on a. I was like,
exactly. I looked like
go for it.
Before that Nike basketball tweet came out. Like,
What time
I
did
was
the
like,
game start?
it was like at 9 or 12 or.
I think it was 10 a.m. West Coast time. But
It was
either
too
way.
early AM. But man, I decided I was gonna stop cussing this much on this episode. Anyway,
I gotta give Chris the beep sound.
Come on, we gotta
next
get these
time I
sponsors,
upload.
Chris. Stop
I
cussing, bro.
I know I had 13 of them last time because I had to bleep them all, so Pressy could get on her YouTube, so I could trick her into watching it.
That's so
Anyway,
funny.
I forgot what we were talking about, bro. I just had a junior.
Hey.
Oh, hey. So
Caitlin Clark, game time, too early.
Okay, so the WNBA, like, I wanted to tweet a meme or something right afterwards, like, kicking themselves. There's a week off when literally everyone has muscle memory right now. They get home from work, whatever. It's the evening. The basketball's on. There's a playoff game on. If Caitlin Clark was on during that time frame, people would watch it. But she only had 2 games. One of them was at like 6 a.m. Hawaiian time. And the other one is like, I think on Tuesday or whatever. But that is actually, Junior, that's why I got on the Outlook thing, was to be like, can I add in these Caitlin Clark games? But there's only 2. But she got hip checked pretty hard by the one girl on the Sparks that called her the B word. I think we all read those lips. But then she had one of the Kobe-est, Manu Ginobili-est flops I have ever seen. And I was proud of her. Because if you're trying to make the women's game like the men's game, here we go. Every single play, she's like, she's always like, ref, why didn't you call that? Like, her arms are permanently like this. And it's hilarious, dude. Like, I love it. That's what Kobe did. That's what Mike did at the end of his career. Like, it comes with the territory.
I'm gonna take umbrage right now with you talking to Ginobili like that, because I feel like he gets a bad rap for that, like, oh, flopper. By today's standards,
floppy as
standards, Ginobili wasn't even like that.
Nah,
bad,
get out of
man.
here, bro.
Like,
Stop that. That dude was
Ginobili
flopping.
was like one of those car
all
signs.
those guys were him, Divock, all them. Bro, his middle name is Flop. Okay, stop.
Nah,
Don't even
flop.
name me that,
Haters.
Junior.
Y'all are just
Oh,
haters,
run a
bro.
super cut.
Today's
We are
standard,
gonna
man,
run a
flopping is
supercut.
flopping. What is the standard? Ginobili is the standard. Okay?
Nah, man.
Ginobili.
Way softer nowadays. Way
Yeah,
softer.
the NBA is softer, but don't mean they stop flopping.
That's true. He ushered it in. If Steph Curry changed the culture for 3-pointers, Ginobili changed the culture for being a
Bro,
Facts.
y'all just hating, man. Y'all
Hating
just
on
hating.
what? Flopping? Come on, bro.
I'm just hating because, bro.
Chris, I hope when
You
we
guys
play,
won
when you
5
edit the show, put the
chips.
Ginobili flops in. Please do.
Yeah, you guys won 5 chips in my lifetime, man. I gotta knock you down when I can.
Come on, Chris, put those flops
got
in.
0, bro. Like I said, I posted something when Bill Walton passed about how, like, that championship they won, it's kind of like a mirage. You know, it's not tangible. It didn't happen in our lifetime. There's bars named after it. You know, the spirit of 77. There's like everything's all about 77 this. That's a long and it doesn't feel real. So anytime I can talk trash about a team that won it in my lifetime, I will, because that's how petty and spiteful I am for my Blazers being mid.
I'm just saying, it's not even easy to find a Manu Ginobili flopping montage on YouTube. So y'all, you know, whatever. Okay, whatever.
No, I know.
Okay, but back to Caitlin Clark. Man, okay, the girl did hip check her, but it wasn't even. I mean, it was worthy of a flagrant foul. but it wasn't like that bad, man.
It wasn't.
Like, I mean,
No.
I've seen Draymond do so much worse.
Accidentally hit you in the face.
Yeah, no. Did she need a hip checker like that? No, but like I was telling you on the text line when we had the text line. I've been checked like that in a game, bro, in like a damn like city league tournament, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like that's not unheard of in the game of basketball.
Not necessary.
That shit happens, but it's not necessary.
But it's not necessary.
But it happens. Like yeah,
it could have been just as much. Caitlin Clark did something to that girl during the game that pissed her off, and she held a grudge, and nothing to do with all of this attention she has and her being a spiteful older woman.
Yeah, the thing that I have against all the discussion right now, I'm like, is Caitlin Clark getting beat up a little bit? She is. Like, when people are acting like she's the first player to get beat up, and it's just not true. I watched I got 80-85% of Wemby's games this year. You know how much they were pushing on Wemby, bro? Like, especially in the beginning of the year when he didn't have his feet set. Like, he was getting beat up, man. Like that happens. Like, you're the next thing, they're gonna test you. Everybody's gonna test you. Wemby got everybody's best every single damn night. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what he did though? He expanded his game.
He did.
He developed around it. He said, "Oh, you're gonna play me like that? I'm gonna play out here."
Yep.
You want to see the jumper? You want to see the handle?
The last 30 games. Yeah.
He just let loose. Yeah, the last 30 games. It was like after the All-Star break. He just said,
"Yep,
okay, I'm going to play how I want to play because people are sitting players. Half the league is injured because of Adam Silver." Yeah. All right, so I just got done binging a show on Netflix that I'm not going to recommend, but I do have a recommendation that I will bring up after our man JD discusses something coming up on Vice, or produced by Vice. Where's it going to air, JD? What's this about?
On Tuesday, it's about our local legend, Mr. Rain Man, Mr. Sean Kemp. Us growing up here in Portland, man, him and Kevin Calabro, the calls, him,
a Rain Man,
the array of dunks that he did. His shoes, him and GP, like him pulling out his strap, shooting at folks recently up there in Tacoma over a cell phone.
That was a big misunderstanding according to police reports or whatever. Like, I mean,
you believe police reports, you are a narc.
But all that to say that Sean Kemp coming out of high school, let's remember,
right?
He was coming out of high school. He touched
JUCO for 1 year.
He went
right?
to JUCO though.
Okay, but
that's still high school.
He talks about
high school plus. Yeah,
okay.
He didn't go major. He didn't go mid-major.
But anyways, Sean Kemp's, he's a pioneer. Hadn't been done like he said since Moses Malone. So he ushered in a new wave of players skipping college and coming in, and we all love Sean Kemp. Pre Cleveland Cavaliers, Blazers. Who? Yeah, even then.
We got Fat Kemp then,
bro.
He should have been back on the cocaine, man. He would have been better, skinnier, man.
But Sean Kemp. We salute you, and he's one of the. I want to say the greats, but he was one of the better players of the '90s that we enjoyed watching.
And he's got the single greatest posterization dunk highlight in the history of the NBA.
The one on Gatling?
Where he crams on him and then does a little point. Bro, when he does that.
Oh, bro. And then he has another dunk in that same game on Gatling, and he helps him up.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry. In that era.
In the Tacoma Dome.
Was it the Tacoma Dome or Key Arena?
No, they were in the Tacoma Dome by that.
Oh, for that game.
Well, I'm saying they got the Key Arena like 95, 96. But
that era, though, like the early to mid 90s, it looked like he was playing on an 8-foot hoop. For real. Like, we would watch highlights. We would go out on the front, at the front yard or the back, wherever the hoop was, and lower that thing and be Sean Kemp. I'd be like, Carson, you're Gary Payton. I'm Sean. Hey, throw me the lob. We didn't have that on the Blazers. It was like, finger roll, Clyde Drexler, 3-pointer. It was like, that was the Sonics, like, that's what he was
the most unskilled, like, star like the
Zero
NBA has
skills.
ever seen. Right, like
He was Obi Toppin.
like, but he was so athletic. Like he was so big, strong, and fast that he just didn't need skills to have impact on the game. Like there aren't that many like just straight up athletes that can do that without some level of skill.
His jumper was so ugly.
And it was just, he was so limited from a skill set perspective, but just so damn athletic to make up for it. Like that's wild to me.
Hey, I saw something on the gram earlier where Jamal Crawford was talking about when he was a senior in high school, and Gary Payton pulled up at the mall. They're at the food court at the mall, and he was with Gary Payton's nephew, and Gary Payton just came, and a couple other dudes. Gary Payton came up, and he was in the league, like, you know, he was the glove at that point, and he came up, and he was like, "You're weak, you're trash, you're trash." He talked to Jamal. Got to Jamal, and he was like, "I want to play you one-on-one. And if you win, I'll give you $1 million. If you lose, you got to run around your neighborhood butt-ass naked while I follow you in my truck." Like something crazy like that. And like, just the like we talked about this last show where the guards that came up on Seattle, they just stay home. Like there's a close-knit culture. DeJounte Murray and Jamal Crawford had a very close relationship. Like I don't live in Seattle. I live in the suburb and the east of it. But like, it's so cool to see like these connections, like Pablo Bonchero or whatever his name is from Orlando. That dude's from Seattle, you know,
Yeah.
like it's really cool to see what Portland should have been. But my reco on the watch is this stand-up from our favorite former canceled comedian, Shane Gillis. You know who Shane Gillis is?
Yeah.
He was on SNL. I do not support any homophobic or racist jokes, but he got canceled for a year, came back on the show, had a triumphant return. Now he has a special. I love watching stand-up. Like, if you just type in Netflix as a joke on Netflix, so much fire. I mean, obviously biased because they have all the Dave Chappelle's, but he is like a combination of Dave Chappelle with his edgy race comparisons, and Chris Farley with just being like the life of the party, right? Junior, you're looking at me like you don't know who this dude is.
Nah, man. I mean, he's mid. You know, like he's, you know, but
watch the special, bro.
We watched it. We watched every episode of SNL too, and like, you know, he's just mid. You know, like I mean,
watch
whatever.
his stand up. It just came out.
I watched his first stand up, like Sleeping Dogs or something like that, or.
All right. Well, they gave him a sitcom too. He has a sitcom called Tires.
Yeah. I mean, he's mid, man. Like, you know, whatever. Like, I'm not hating on him. Like I know people
I'm not
out
saying
there,
he's
like
the
people
GOAT.
out there.
I'm just trying to drop a little hidden gem of something that brought me joy to my life.
Yeah.
Last night.
No, sorry, man. You just asked, so I had to say, I had to respond,
I
bro.
bet.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey. Okay, Junior, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who is your favorite comedian?
Man, favorite stand-up comedian? That's tough, man. I would have to just say, like,
Give me a list. Give me a couple.
What's my stand-up that I watched like recently that I enjoyed? Man, you know whose stand-up that I enjoyed recently? Chrissy really liked it too. Is this dude named Shang Wang on Netflix? He's like this Asian cat, but like he's got
and he has a hella Chinese accent.
He does not. He does
Oh,
not.
there's
He does
one.
not. He's actually got like a freaking like LA act, or he's from like the South or something like that, but he doesn't have like a super Southern twang, but like
He's Americanized.
He's like Mitch Hedberg, bro. Like that's like the style of comedy. Like it's just like hella chill, fucking but just like you know, dumb comedy. I like John Mulaney. John Mulaney is pretty good. His most recent special was pretty good.
Did you watch the Tom Brady roast?
I did.
Homegirl got him. She is Nikki Glazer. Nikki Glazer was hilarious.
But Nikki Glazer's been hilarious on, you know, they say Jeff Ross is the roast master, but Nikki Glazer's funnier than Jeff Ross.
He's OG. He's OG'd in.
Yeah.
He's OG. He's grandfathered in. The way he came out, like I mean, if you say roast, it's gonna be him. But they used to have like, it used to be a thing, right? There was 3 of them. It was Jeff Ross. Was Norm Macdonald part of that?
He did. Like, no, they've had so many roasts going back to like the late 90s, man.
People
like,
like they said on the Brady, people are afraid to do them now.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised a few people showed up to that Tom Brady roast. Like, I mean, because they knew they were going to get tagged, and it's like, man, you still showed up though. Like, that's wild to me.
Hey, I was Gronk was hilarious because he knew he was going to get beat up, and he took it, and he played the part. I mean, it's not playing the part; it's
Gronk
him.
just don't care, man. Like he really don't care,
It
bro.
was like Gronk thinks his last name is Kowski.
Yeah. Chris, did you watch Unfrosted?
I watched it on Frosted the day, like that Saturday, with my kids that morning. It was lit.
Yeah,
What
it's
is
like
that?
man, so many cameos, bro. It's like a fake story of how
But a lot of truth is said in jest.
Yeah, the history of the creation of the Pop-Tart, right? It's like a somewhat
Kellogg's
true
versus
story.
Post.
Yeah, but it's like
Oh.
Jerry Seinfeld and like cameos from everybody. It seems like,
Well, it's
everybody.
his arch nemesis is the girl from Workaholics.
Yeah.
Whatever her name is, but
About
she's
to
hilarious.
finish watching Eric on Netflix.
That's what I was watching, and I have fallen asleep so many times, but I'm on the last episode. Where you at on it?
I'm like on one of the last episodes, but we got to go back because I fell asleep and then woke up and started watching the episode. I'm like,
It's one of
Oh,
those things
that's
where
not
you
good.
it's like some shows you can fall asleep to and be cool with, like, whatever. But like when you're like, damn it, where was I at? It's frustrating, right?
That looks too real for me, y'all. I can't be watching those psychological dramas and stuff, man. I can't do that.
Come on, man. You are literally trained in psychology. That should not affect you.
Nah, man, can't do it. No dramas over here, bro.
No drama, bro. Just
Nah.
comedies and actions.
Just
What you know about
comedies.
the new Bad Boys, though. The new Bad
Stand
Boys, I
up.
think, is gonna be lit.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, bro. I don't have any faith in these movies. If you come out with a sequel 12 years later, I'm gonna automatically be skeptical of you. Sorry, every time.
But I'm gonna support Will Smith.
Okay.
Hey, man, he's
I'm
got
gonna-
I think
everyone
it's
against
funny
him.
that you get both. I don't know how you call it, the trilogy, but you get Beverly Hills Cop 4 this summer and Bad Boys 4
Yeah.
this summer.
Wait, who's in Bel? Is Eddie Murphy in it?
Yeah, watch the trailer, bro.
Who's
on
who's
Netflix.
else is in it?
Same people, but a couple new people.
Yeah, his son, I think, is in it. I can't remember who plays him.
So that's I like the passing of the torch. I don't think that's nepotism. Like Ice Cube's son.
His
Ice
Axel
Cube's son, I
Foley's
like
son.
seeing.
Axel Foley's son. So it's not actually Eddie Murphy's son in the movie. I'm saying the character has a son, bro. I'm pretty sure.
Like in Top Gun, where fucking Miles Teller is supposed to be Goose's son.
I don't know. Never watched it, bro. It's a drama, you know?
Hey, just because of that, man, I'm gonna put something out here. It's pretty funny. So, Junior, I've told so many people this story and they thought it was funny. So I feel like I'm
Oh
gonna
my
say
gosh,
it.
bro.
So, because of this podcast, we talked about the Kendrick. Now, if you know O'Donnell Arrington the second, you know that he is, if nothing else, anti-establishment and against the grain. Does not like to go where everyone else is going. So his entire life that I've known him, it has all been about Bay Area music, underground rap, Mac Dre, Yuck
But
Mouth.
that's not underground mouth or rap.
I'm just saying, at the time that when there's no
Yeah.
streaming services and you
Yeah.
need to go to Junior to get it,
Yeah.
it is pretty fucking underground. They're
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
at that time, bruh. Anyway, to progress on this story, and Avril Lavigne.
Still slap it today.
Hey,
You know what I'm
Avril's
saying?
hard. Hey, is she dead or alive though, bruh?
She's alive. What?
I mean,
she
there's
like
rumors
she
that
like
she's
she
dead.
date black
No,
dudes.
there's. Hey, no, check it. There's rumors that she died and someone came back and pretended to be
Yeah,
her.
I know. There's lots of conspiracy on people.
That's
like,
why I
anyway.
asked you.
Yeah,
She's
anyway.
alive. Okay. So, because of this podcast, we Junior did a little reconnaissance, right? Started listening to Drake
Some recon.
because he never listened to Drake before. And he hits me up and he's like, "Hey, bro, you ever heard the song God's Plan?
Yeah.
It's kind of a banger."
Yeah.
After it comes out,
Bro,
I love it,
mean-
Junior. I love it. No, it was just like awesome. It's like
Yeah.
it's like pure. Like I wish I could be introduced to things for the first time again. You know, like the
Yeah.
first time I saw Training Day. Anytime that someone hasn't seen it, I'm like, can I watch it with you? I want to watch how you see it
Yeah.
and take it in the first time. You know,
So
like that's
question
dope.
though, Junior, real quick though, you don't ever listen to like Z100 or just the radio?
Hell no.
Like I'm just saying, like in your car, boom, the radio's on accident. So when you get in the car,
Junior's
it
life is not
automatically
an
hooks up
accident.
to your phone.
It does, yeah. So we got wireless Android Auto in both of our cars. So like,
Yeah.
or I just
Get that
hit it
sponsor
straight.
money.
I just hit it straight to AM radio. So like I'm either listening to sports talk.
It's just
or
crazy to
like,
say that think that you don't like the radio never comes on in your car just on accident.
In my life, like
In his
ever.
life, nah, dog.
You was rolling around in a deuce and a quarter station
bro.
wagon,
Yeah.
and that thing, yeah, okay.
Hey, you need a
Scooby-Doo.
cassette.
Yeah.
Hey, you need a cassette to MP3 adapter.
Yeah,
We
bro.
got you, man. We got Radio Shack alumni here, bro. Come on now, on Wheeler down in Northeast.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, June for real though. Like I was saying, I mentioned it last time. Like he introduced custom ringtones to our whole squad, like to an entire race of white people in the suburbs.
Bro, I was on that phone technology game, okay? It was hot, all right?
It was pre-iPhone, too. There was not an alternative at the time.
Hey, you know what's funny is I get all this hate from y'all for not messing with Apple and stuff, but I was the first on the block with the iPad. I was the first one to have
Facts.
an iPad, okay?
Facts.
So,
Facts.
all right, iPod, I guess it was. iPod.
He said iPad. I knew what you meant, bro. Because you could plug it into the car.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
I was the first.
So the cassette or the CD plug in. You know what I'm saying? We don't have an aux back then.
Yeah, it was fire.
You know, just hit the block, man.
But then the Zune moved past him, Chris. You know what I'm saying? Had to go
Zune. But no, Microsoft trash though.
I know.
I got one of those
but
that worked for
Zune
free.
was fire, though, bro. It was
a fire concept, but that was the first time where Microsoft realized they can't compete with Apple.
Yeah, the software sucked too on the computer.
Yeah, it's trash. We tried though. We tried. You know? Get your Euro minute, get your soccer minute, get your JD minute, and by minute, that's a loose term. Holler at us.
Real Madrid capped off a incredible season, winning the Champions League for the 6th time in 11 years, their 15th championship overall. And I heard the commentator said they played 50 plus matches this year and they've lost 2. And it's like, man, it wasn't even close. Dortmund, finished 5th in the Bundesliga in the German league, and they had a good match. Victus Jr. Taking selfies with Jay-Z. He's part of Rock Nation. Scored the go-ahead goal, I guess, in the 80th minute. And the Euro League for basketball, Panathinaikos, can't even say it right. Giannis's brother plays for them, and they won their 7th Euro League championship. And Giannis was talking about how this is the best atmosphere for basketball. And there was a riot basically before the Final 4 games, and the hooligans of the rival teams broke into the stadium and had a delay before the Final 4. And, just the passion for their sports teams over there in Europe we're not even close here in the States. And it's just incredible. And the NHL,
we got passion for other things, man.
Yeah, and the Stanley Cup Finals are set. You got the Edmonton Oilers face the Florida Panthers. Geography lesson, real quick. That is a 7-hour flight from Edmonton to Fort Lauderdale. It is the longest flight that you can take between teams in the NHL. Over 3,000 miles. So Canada is looking
I hope
for
they do a 3-3-1 or a 3-4 series.
Canada is looking for their first Stanley Cup since 1993.
Canada.
Dang. Hold on, bro. How we go from being cool?
Because, man, I'm still mad about that world team versus USA team thing, man. Like, they got us. I'm going to take shots at the whole world.
Bro, you know what?
That is your Euro Minute, brought to you by nobody.
Well,
hey,
I'm
get it, JD.
What's cold is that Real Madrid don't have a single U.S.-born player on that team either, man. Like,
is that legal?
We really not coming up like that, man. That's cold.
Hey, quick question. On those Mike James highlights, was Kemba Walker on his team?
Yeah, but I never saw him play much.
He couldn't get burned?
I mean, he did,
old.
but
he's
Kemba Walker.
He's no Mike James. Okay,
for real, like literally, like Mike James.
If you're good, you're good. The best players will always play. We know
that. Yep.
Right.
All right, my dude.
I just want to say this real quick though. It's sad listening to Chuck and Ernie and them at the end of their last show. Just talk about how it's about to come to an end and how we were talking about this stuff, and then You listen, everything on TV is talking about TNT. So again, we're setting the trends, Chris.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Domingo said, we set the trends.
Hey, man, we skate where the puck is going, not where it's at, man. Just like Wayne Gretzky taught us. My guys, let's talk in a week. Appreciate you. Have a good week, my dudes.
Peace.
One time, blow your mind.